Madam President, the alleged abduction of Azerbaijani citizen Afgan Mukhtarli on Georgian soil is an extremely concerning and serious case, particularly given his background as a journalist who has fled there in search of safe haven from persecution by the Azerbaijani authorities. Allegations that the Georgian security services may have in some way been complicit with these events is also of deep concern, and I welcome the calls in the resolution today for a full investigation of these claims. Investigative journalism that seeks to uncover corruption and abuses of justice is vital in all countries, but especially so in countries such as Azerbaijan, which are marked by distinct deficiencies in their democratic processes and the rule of law. Incidents such as this undermines the efforts to encourage journalists such as Mukhtarli to continue their work in freedom and to believe that sanctuary can be found if necessary. I hope that as investigations into the affair proceed, we will at the very least see the release of Mukhtarli, and that all charges filed by the Azerbaijani authorities against him in this regard are dropped. Thank you.
Dear colleagues, Mr. Tannock has described the situation very clearly. What's most shocking about this particular case of the journalist Afgan Mukhtarli is that we're seeing the lack of justice not just in Azerbaijan, but their reach goes into Georgia as well. I think what's really important for us is that this case remains open and that we have an independent investigation, not just in Azerbaijan, but in Georgia as well. I really hope that with our resolution we can help Afghan. I hope Commissioner Hahn, when he is in Baku tomorrow, will raise this issue, and I hope that all other cases of injustice will be important when it comes to relations between Azerbaijan and the European institutions. Our resolution calls for the immediate release of Afgan Mukhtarli, but also for dozens of other journalists and human rights activists who have been unjustly imprisoned. Thank you.
In Tbilisi, the capital of Tbilisi, we saw this abduction in broad daylight. He was persecuted by the authorities and woke up in a prison. This journalist Afgan Mukhtarli was arrested 2 weeks earlier on false pretenses. And this is likely to be part of a long political trial in the country. The country is subject to all sorts of very worrying changes. The government in Baku is involved in diverting the law and rules concerning NGOs. The fact is the country now has hundreds of political prisoners with no chance whatsoever of getting even a modicum of fair trial. However, we've now moved into a new phase. Political refugees in neighbouring countries are no longer safe. According to Mukhtarli, the people who abducted him spoke Georgian, which speaks volumes about the potential role played by the security services in that country. The fact is, hundreds of Azeris who are living in exile in Georgia must now start worrying seriously about their security.
So once again, we differ on how to proceed. What is the best tactics? Well, I think if we would be dealing with a different government, with a different regime, I could understand the appeal of Mr. Hahn. But the abduction happened a few days after EP high-ranking delegation spoke for an hour and a half with the president of the country, Mr. Aliyev. So that is the message. Now, the other message would be that we postpone it today, Mr. Hahn goes, and what is the message that we are sending? For the first time, we have postponed an urgency resolution, and we are not united. Well, I disagree with Mr. Hahn, because I think that he can go to Baku and have behind him a resolution which puts pressure on him. And basically, for me, it's in that current situation, with this regime, with the disrespect to the parliament that Mr. Aliyev has showed, the only possible way. Thank you.